How you doing, love? All right, so next news story, family. Let's get it popping. Let's go. All right. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this story, but I posted the video on my Instagram page, which is Melanated Fathers 100. No, my Southpaw underscore 100 is my personal YouTube page, Southpaw underscore 100. All right, so where am I? All right, so what actually happened is police in Southern California basically killed a black man who was jaywalking, right? So let's go over a little bit of what happened. Again, I posted the video of this. It was caught on camera again, right? All right, so let's talk about it. The Orange County Sheriff's Department has released video and audio surrounding the fatal shooting of a homeless black man in San Clemente by a deputy last year that kicked off allegations of excessive force, prompting protest and a lawsuit. Now, Andras Reinhold, this is the brother's name, RIP to the brother. Kurt Andras Reinhold was a 42-year-old black man, was shot and killed on September 23rd, 2020. So this did happen last year. They're just releasing the video and the information recently, but this incident happened last year, so keep that in mind. The video was made public on Wednesday, February 17th, including dashcam footage, a cell phone video from a witness, and a motel surveillance. Also released was audio from the microphones two deputies wore. The sheriff's department do not have body cameras now, so keep that in mind. They have the microphones, no body camera. The newly released dashcam footage shows when the two deputies on patrol spotted Reinhold near the Hotel Miramar at El Camino Real in Avenida San Gabriel at around 1:30 p.m. Now, there had been an outcry over whether deputies were justified in even stopping him. Previously, the Orange County Sheriff's Department did not detail why deputies approached the man, but in the material released Wednesday, Sergeant Dennis Breckner said the deputies saw Reinhold jaywalking, right? They tried to get him off the sidewalk, So they tried to get him off the sidewalk. He refused. He's basically having a conversation with him, right? And what happens is, because again, so some of us may get tired of hearing about police brutality to a degree, right? Some of us may begin to feel like, damn, again, or is the media over portraying this? Listen, I talk about these stories for a specific reason. I need all the melanated people in this country, all 43 million of us. I need all of us to get upset about what happens to us. I need all of us to get upset to the point of being angry about what happened to us. I need all of us to feel like these black men and women these children that we see getting taken advantage of around the country is you. Right? That's the point. You need to see this shit as you. Now, when I say get angry, do I mean get angry and go out and do some stupid shit? No. No, when we talk about war, when we talk about if we're going to just say clear, let's go to war with all the racist motherfuckers in America, we're not ready. We're not ready militarily. We're not ready mentally. We're just not ready for that, right? But at the end of the day, you need to be moved to action. What is action, right? Action is talking about it like we're doing now. Action is starting an organization. Action is being a part of an organization. Action is marching for a cause that you feel strongly about. Like, take action, people. All of us need to realize we need all hands on deck when dealing with this system. So sometimes we talk about news stories to add context to things and so you can be in the know. And other times it's to piss you the fuck off so you can get to the point where you want to do something for your people. You see what I'm saying? So this brother was shot in cold blood, and the interesting thing about the video is one of the cops told the other one, nah, he good. Like, we ain't got to go fuck with the brother over some jaywalking, right? And the other cop always, and the police officers in our country who be on this gung-ho shit, because they basically telling him, get out the street. Now, we got to realize, y'all, like as a man, I don't give a fuck what the situation is. You're not going to let another man talk to you in a particular way, especially when you on foot. You on foot and the police come fuck with you. I mean, come on, jaywalking? So the brother ends up losing his life for jaywalking, right? So he's arguing with the cops. Basically, they're telling him, get out the street. He like, why? You know what I mean? At this point, what do I say do? Leave him alone. He's not a threat to you. He's not a threat to nobody else. But again, we got this authoritative shit where we got these white men with badges or just men with badges who feel like they have to be authoritative type figures, right? And then while they're tussling with the brother, one of the cops yell out, he tried to go for my gun. Now, again, I always say this, but I wish I can believe what I see. I wish I can watch the news. I wish I can watch reports on the news and things that I see on TV. I wish I can believe this shit, but we got to understand the system that we in, y'all. Police officers understand how they can flip the turn, how they can flip things and make it seem like it's the other person's fault, or it's the victim's fault, or whoever they're arresting's fault. And saying that he reached for my gun is one way to do that. And there's a video, and on this video, they circle, while they're tussling, somebody circled his gun, which was still on his hip. You see what I'm saying? So they tussling with the brother, they end up shooting him 2 times, another black man dead, and we ask ourselves why? Like why? Because he's jaywalking? Or is he jaywalking while black? You see what I'm saying? Because yes, do police mistreat all citizens to a degree? I would say yes. But we would be untruthful, intellectually dishonest if we didn't say they do it to us more, right? They're more harsh with us. They're more brash with us. And that's just the long and short of it, right? So again, when we talk about this defund the police shit, what are we actually talking about? Like a jaywalker, right? I'm almost to the point where some police officers shouldn't have guns. Or there's a certain level of training and expertise you have to get through until they actually give you a pistol. Not like training with a gun on how to use it, because they good at fucking killing us. That's not the problem. But psychologically, everybody shouldn't have a gun on their hip walking around the streets based on how they think. You know what I mean? So they should do some testing on these guys. Like I was saying last week, get an idea of how they feel about people. Get an idea of how they gonna react in certain situations. Because in most of these cases, in my opinion, family, if these cops had billy clubs, that's it. Just billy clubs, maybe some mace or something, we looking at a completely different situation. To me. You know what I mean? Giving any man a gun, especially a scared man a gun, is going to be a volatile situation every time, right? So am I tired of reporting on how we're treated? Yes. And I read an article, or I was reading an article, I read a small amount of it, where it kind of mentioned, hey, black people aren't killed as much by the police as you would think, right? Is what they was trying to say. I didn't get into the article a whole lot, but and that's the shit people say about us a lot of time. It's not even happening the way you think it's happening, right? Here's the caveat. I think it was either in 2020, 2019, 18, one of these years, don't quote me, more men died from police brutality in those years than the height of slavery. The 1800s and 1900s, where slavery was popping, the highest year we had of slaves being lynched or black people being lynched, we've surpassed that in 2019 or 20 with the amount of people who've been killed by cops. So are we getting killed by police every day? Probably not, right? Probably not, but that's not the point. It shouldn't happen at all, right? It should, and look, I'm a melanated black man who do everything I can to empower my people, and I think we get the short end of the stick in society, so I speak up for us, and I make these shows and shit. I can come on here and talk about everything going on in the world with everybody, but nah, we need to love each other. You know what I mean? We need to figure out the best way to come to grips with each other and what has happened to us in the system. So I'm going to make sure I talk about these type of topics with you guys. And I know we get tired of hearing about the police violence and it gets kind of mundane. But so what, family? Until this shit stops, we should never stop talking about it. We should never stop doing stuff. That's why I do stuff. That's why I have an organization, so I can go out into the community. I can feed people. I can talk to people. Excuse me, family. You know what I mean? So, RIP to the brother Kurt Andras Reinhold. I think, like always, the most tragic part about all of this shit is more than likely these cops won't go to jail. These cops are allowed to kill us for ambiguous ass reasons and end up going home to their family. That's just the long and short of it. So I don't give a fuck if it happened to 5 of us in 5 years. 1 a year is